Ooh, it's been a while. Okay. Um. Hmm. All right. Today, today, today is a short stream. It's been a while I stream. I know. I've been a bit hectic. My life is a bit hectic. not not just like you know. Oh, I don't want to see anything. I don't want to see anything. I don't want to see anything. I don't want to see. I don't want to receive any more message. Today is a short stream, I guess. Yes, I have something that I need to do later. Not later. Kind of want to have a. I need to wake up quite early tomorrow. So yes. And then what else? Let me think. Let me think about my life. But a few things that I need to do as well. Yes, I kind of want to do one thing. Not sure if I have this here. Mm, mm, mm. Which one? I know it's currently a bit laggy right now. Okay, I'm not going to open this one. I'm so sorry. Oh. Mm. you link a PDF? Oh, I'm very confused with this. I'm actually quite hi, welcome. Thank you for stopping by today. Hope you have a wonderful time. Because I'm not. I'm stressed out. I'm joking about it. Wish that I can say that I'm stressed out. But I feel like it's still manageable, if that makes sense. And I'm just simply procrastinating at this point, which is not a really good thing. Hi, welcome. Thank you for stopping by today. I got a question. I have a question. What happened to my Okay. It's there. Oh my god. Yeah, it's been a while. Hi, welcome. Thank you for stopping by today. I hope you have a wonderful time. Just realized one thing. I don't think at here. It's at this part. I'm going to delete stream. I missed it earlier. I know, right? I was supposed to have stream at that time. And then I caught up with something. So there's this event at my place. Not my place. At the school at there, there's a oil painting thing that you can do. And what they say was for art therapy for those who are stressed. And then I went there for like 2 minutes and I'm out. It was crowded. It was very, very crowded to the point that I was like, you know what? That's not actually do anything to me. So yes. Now I have tons of questions that I want to ask someone about it. I don't want to hear anything from anyone. Still have a lot of things I need to do. And then, love it or not, mm, mm, mm-hmm. I wanted to add attention to you. Who am I joking? Yes, this one, thank you. Like the accent. What are you working today? Surviving. I feel like when they ask for reflections on the assignment, I don't know what I should write about that. Is that a bad thing? Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Today is a short stream, I think. I need to wake up quite early tomorrow, so it's like very late night at this point. I'm wondering why I decided to do this one. They asked me to, modify my plan. Now, problem would be, I don't know what I should modify that about. Who am I joking? I actually know what I want to modified a lot. Um, Ooh. By the way, let me tell you one thing. I was out this Tuesday. Yes, Tuesday. Yeah. I was out for an activity that I'm kind of. It is a requirement to do that. But anyway. I don't want to see this right now. I'm kind of done. And then here's the thing: you have to plan before you conduct an activity, isn't it? Kind of like you have to plan before you decided to stream, which is I did not. That was a very bad example. Now mine. Let me give you a new example for that. Like you have to prepare yourself when you decided to, do your work. Yeah, makes sense, right? At this point, it's still making a lot of sense, isn't it? So yes, sometimes in a lot of situations, the plan did not go well, which means you have to adapt, you have to change. Now, I got a very I found out a very in my logical sense, it was not the right thing to do, but for some reason, in their mind, it was alright to think about that, to have that thought. So in my in the initial plan that we have, basically, since we are going to conduct an activity, the environment that we are going to be in, it was given to us. It was being told. It was being, provide to us that it might happen to be in the hall, which means there will be that you can't expect much. There's probably no access to any electronic technical support, because you are going to be in a hall. It's just a thought, okay? So the solutions when I came out with, because this happened after this information came in after that we have the plan. We have the schedule and we have the plan and we already done with the resources. So in your mind, you are probably going to think of the different ways, isn't it? You're going to different way to present your part out without without the possible accessible for of a projector or a monitor. Just a thought. No, does that not occur to you in your minds that it might happen? But anyway, the second thought that when you have that information is coming in, the first thought for you is to think alternative way for it. Probably let's not use a slide at that point when we are presenting. See, now I have a question. That was probably one of the first thing that you would thought is change the way that you are going to present, but no, they decided to retain the method they decided to present, which means they are still going to use the slide thing. Okay, that's the PowerPoint thing. And I have so much questions about that. I have so many questions about that. But you know what? It's all right. The solutions they gave is to, well, since, all of us has, in a way, has a some kind of device that would project the slide out, we could have just used that, since the audience that we are the audience that we are facing is a small group of people. There's not much going on, that you are not going to talk about with 20 people out there. You are not going to present in front of 20 people. It's fine, you know. So I agree with that. That is something kind of weird, but sure, of course. And anyway, now come to Tuesday activity, the day that we need to conduct the activity. It was way chaotic than what we imagined. So at that time, I asked the questions of, do you still want to use different screen for? Do you still want to segregate the small groups into a few people out there, so you can focus, like one of the members able to speak directly to them in a very clear way. And for some reason, the leader decided that it was not needed. Mind you, there's almost like 10 groups out there. 10 groups of people talking in the same time. Can you imagine the noise at there? Second questions that I have. None of us has a very, very loud voice, if that makes sense. Like, I have a soft voice. So if I'm going to talk in front of a group of people with such a noisy surrounding environment, you have to shout. And even by the time that you shout, they probably won't able to listen, hurt you, because it's very, very noisy. So I came up with the solutions of, why don't we just use the first idea that we have, the first solutions that we have is to distribute the small group even further down to like 2 people in one group. And since a lot of us have the same slide, why can't we present at, on a very different, in different corners? Isn't it that easier? But no, apparently someone decided that that was not a good thing. That was not it will be noisy. It can be noisy. Then I was like, it is noisy. Without us, it's already noisy. You have to, the whole point for you to present is for you to talk about your thoughts and opinions to them. They have to learn that information. No, hi, welcome. Thank you for stopping by today. It's been a while, isn't it? Oh, I missed someone. Hi. But you know what? But for some reason, at that time, the leader thought since it's already chaotic. They were like, we are going to do one presenter and the whole group going to listen to that one presenter. Instead of 2 presenter, divide the small group into half and present them by 2 members. Because here's the thing, you already have a slide. You already know what you are going to talk in there. There's information for it. It's in there. You don't have to prepare anything. Just thought, just a thought. But no, apparently they didn't like to. And then guess what? None of them actually heard at all. They could not really heard, and some of the presenter being when they talk. So I don't know. Sounds to me it was a failure, but for them, for some reason, it was success. I don't know. Here's the thing, right? I sometimes don't really get it. When you are already in that situation, my question is, why can't you put every single effort that you have in there? Why can't you do your best in there? I don't get the point of being a bit, well, it's just an activity, that kind of idea. You are, in a way, improving your skill in that particular aspect. And isn't it this kind of experience is where you can actually really have that you can really experiment with your method. Sorry, conversations happen. Well, where was the topic? Where was the comment? Where was I? Yeah, I was saying that it's quite it's quite halfway, if that makes sense. Like, you put a lot of effort in planning this, yeah, and then suddenly at that time and that actual situation, you decided not to do the best that you can. It looks to me that you just want to get over with it, and I can't blame you with that. I just don't get the point of why someone just couldn't really do their best in that situation. I know. Maybe just my thought. It's okay. Is that the reason why they can be that productive? Because I'll be very honest with you, after this kind of activity, my social battery just died at that point. I cannot, I can't do anything. I don't want to communicate with anyone at that point. And I have a lot of complaints too, so I don't think that, you want to hear me complaining at that point. So yeah. Yeah, sometimes you just want to be done with it. I know. Because here's the thing, right? I don't know if you figure it out, but sometimes I don't really follow the script that much. So you kind of expected that when I present something, I actually don't care about what's happening on the slide. As long as the slide able to as long what I'm talking is related to the slide, yeah, relatable, yes. Then I think that's all right. No, the whole point of having a slide, the whole point of having a PowerPoint at there is for the audience to read through it, and it's not for me to read that out for you, if that makes sense. I have no idea. Maybe I have a different thought of it. Okay, so I have no idea. I always thought that slide is just for them, not for me. It's just for me to. It's just a guidance in a way for me to talk about what I want to talk. And that's probably the reason why my mind is just always go over time, isn't it? It's alright. So yes, I also don't like the idea of using slide sometimes. I feel like there's more creative way for you to use without needing a slide. But I think sometimes, in some cases, slide can be a very good thing if the audience is someone who have problem focusing, listening to your point. They're just going to read out that and they can get the point, and then that's all right. It's fine. Now here's the thing, right? I personally, if I'm dealing with if this kind of activity happen, I personally don't like to use slide. I personally like to be more creative, because the whole point of having that activity is for the audience to have an idea, have a concept of a certain topic. Now, you can have a lot of have a lot of method for them to be for them to remember what the whole point of that topic is, without needing to talk a lot. Mm. I don't know. It sounds like, to be fair, I felt like my um the whole assignment that I have is an assignment, by the way. The whole assignment is kind of a bit out of the topic a bit, that with the activity that we have conducted. I don't think it's that match itself. I don't know. I personally really like to do fun ways at least a group activity. My opinion does not matter. I think print it out and give them to work better than slide. I agree with that. But you have to understand sometimes that if it's not something that in this case, in this activity, the audience is a bit different. You can't use worksheet for that. You can use tons of game activities, if that makes sense. I don't know. I just kind of wish that we have a different method in doing this. But hey, it's done. And do you know what I don't like about the slide itself? Because they give I don't mind the present part itself. I enjoy that. If you haven't noticed, quite enjoying that at a lot of time. is that they is that the way that they think is all right, to put it there. The way that the mindset they have when having the slide is very much different than what I have. The definitions of with slides, if that makes sense. Like I talked before, I really like to talk out of script, which means I don't really follow my slide at all. That's exactly what I did, by the way, in that activity. And then that's where I realized that slide did not work. I don't know. Okay, sounds like that's. I don't know why they decided not to ask questions at after they done with their part, because at that time I was the last few ones to present, and my thought of it, the whole point of my point is it's basically a conclusion. And then here's the thing. You cannot conclude without them have no idea what we just talked about. So instead of talking about what I wrote in the slide, I asked them questions, and that's where I get the point. That's where you get the information where they don't really understand what just happened. And there's another part. So when we try to talk about it, when I try to reinforce the point that we have, the leader was a bit. The leader was like, it's all right. We don't need to reinforce that. We don't need to enforce that information to them, that concrete. And I got very confused. So you told me the moment that we are doing slide, you told me that you want them to understand the whole point of activity. And during the activity time, you give me the signal of it's okay, they don't really need to know much. Let's just move on. I don't get the point of moving on without them knowing the whole point of it. Like, does it make sense? Have you thought about that? I'm very confused. I don't, because I will be very honest with you. I don't see the point of. I can't understand that. Like, what do you mean by that? Yeah, I think it was because of that. I got the idea of, well, they probably just didn't really like to do this at all. They just want to get over with it. And to be fair, I was quite disappointed. I was like, we already have this so fun activity going on, and that's what you want to do? I don't know. Sounds to me that you care more about your assignment than your potential future workplace. Kind of weird. Giving I'm not wanting to show that the audience doesn't understand this, Mika. Yeah, I don't know. Could have like use a different words and different idea. And the whole point is we kind of know from the beginning that some of them probably have issue with not understanding English. Yeah, but we know that. So I think it was a very good thing that you asked in between your time, your slot. You know when you are talking about your point, just to make sure that they are mostly in a way of at some point at the same page with you. Turns out they don't. Turns out they did not do that. And here's the thing that I don't really understand, because from their ideology of this whole and of this topic, not of this topic, their whole ideology of of this assignment is to have more freedom for the audience, basically. They want to focus a lot on the audience. I thought we are going at that. I thought we are going with your ideology. I don't understand. Because I'll be very honest with you, I don't really agree with that. But the rest of the group members kind of agree. Majority wins, okay? So you are telling me that you want to focus on the audience, but during it, but when that actually happened, you suddenly decided not to go with that. You suddenly think that you know what, I've done my part. That's all. Wait a minute. Your thought is a bit. You kind of switch without telling me. Because what I did is I focus on the audience, like what the group should have done. And then suddenly, at that point, you are telling me that, you know what, it's alright for the audience not to understand a lot. We are not focusing on the audience. We are focusing on the activity itself. We are going as what we planned. Sure. Alright. Nothing to say. I have nothing to say, okay? Majorities wins. None of the members have any disagreement with the how it was being conducted. I can't say anything about that. It is what it is. Where's my this one? It is what it is. I cannot undo. Oh no. So yeah, so when you ask me about what should I reflect on this activity, because we need to write a report basically on what is the recommendations, what consider success and failure in that, what was the what can we improve, modify, and what can we do for the next activity basically. And I wrote that I don't want to be in this group. Is that alright? Let me get my thing. I was like, you know what? But for my next assignment, I wish I don't really want to be in this group that much. I know. I know. I don't understand. To be fair, I can't blame them if that makes sense. Because I probably will be doing the same thing as well when I was in their age. I think. Who am I joking? Probably not. Like, I would... Probably not going to be that half-assed, if that makes sense. So probably will give much more than... Not much more. I'll probably will give whatever I have to my best ability. And it's just a very different experience that I have, actually. Maybe we are just, we are just have different ideas, opinion on that. I want Google. Please show me. Nah. I got one. Dun, 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 bam, bam. Da, 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 da. Go back to school after getting older, feel difference. I know, right? It did. But I feel like something just won't change even after you graduate and then you come back after that. Your mindset and thoughts on a certain topic might change, but the way that the effort that you put in will be the same. No, still hate school. I actually don't mind that. If you have any idea, not if you have a reason why you be in school, I think every day is very enjoyable. I don't actually mind at all. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Oh, da, 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 da. Mm-hmm. Mm. Aligned. Ah, welcome. Thank you for stopping by today. Hope you have a wonderful time. Sorry, I was reading something. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's not that bad. I think I could get it. Um, Let me look to that. Oh no. No. Okay. working on something that's not supposed to be my task to work on. That's weird. Is it weird? It's not. It's life. Oh well. I actually don't want this one. Mm. It's a group assignment. And they are not that responsive. I have problem with this group particularly because one decided to not to be responsive for the past 2 weeks because they are struggling with their mental health. Which, here's the thing, I don't think that's a very good excuse. Not good excuse, a good reason, by the way. And the rest of them decided not to. I don't know. I have problem with this. With this, I don't know. Maybe it's because I thought my mindset is a bit different. How you should report this problem after a group project, because that's when you can use it as an excuse. Oh, I would absolutely do that, but it's still manageable, if that makes sense. Now, my problem is with, for some reason, with a lot of group assignment that I have this semester, none of them, I don't know, maybe we have a different ideas. We have a different mindset, I guess, in producing an assignment. I think. Because there are one occasions where someone, well, not particular in this group, someone telling me that I'm not well, I should have lead the group, if that makes sense, because I am in the positions of the group leader. Why not? Why I was. Because of it, like, you know what? Just I don't really care. just give it to you. I thought in university you are always the idea of assignment, the idea of group assignment means that you probably will do your part, if that makes sense. I have one question that I was, so it stick with me until now, if that makes sense. Is that why should you wait for the leader to ask you to do something? You are an adult. You're supposed to be responsible with your assignment. I don't know. I personally don't really like the group leader thing in a group in such a small group. That makes sense. Even with a very large group, I personally don't like that as well. Because this is exactly why I don't like. Because it felt like you put every single responsibility onto the leader and expect that person who is the same level of studies with you to be able to know what their assignment is and what they need to do. Isn't it just a bit unfair, if that makes sense? And here's the thing, right? For some reason, in some of the group that I've been, they don't really like discussion. I don't know. This is something that I felt very, very different. Because when I have group discussion, usually a lot of them want to pinch in their thoughts. A lot of them have their opinions. A lot of them wanted to talk about what they think they should have been. They should put into the assignment. Now, here's the thing. In this few subject that I have, most of them did not. Most of them decided that, well, since that's what the leader think it is, well, it is what it is. Mind you, the leader is your classmate. It's not your senior. It's not your lecturer. It's not someone who have more experience than you. They are someone who is doing the same subject with you. Few of them. We can't do that. I'm against violence. Too bad. That's why. Yeah, that's why I'm very busy. The group assignment becomes solo assignments. I know, right? And at some point, I got very fed up because you are. The whole point of me having a discussions with you is not me telling you what you should have done. I'm simply giving you the suggestions, the opinions that I have, that I think that we can put it in or not. Like, is it out of topic? Is it not out of topic? I don't know, okay? Because I always do out of topic stuff. If you haven't noticed that. But for some reason, they think, well, it is what it is, I guess. It felt like the discussion is not needed. Then what's the point of having a group assignment? I don't get it. I just don't really get it at all. Like some of the groups that I've been, like we have tons of discussions, and everyone give their inputs in the assignment itself. And then some of them are just I'm going to follow what you think, because I think it's right. That's the reason why I don't really like to be leader. And I feel like what's the point of you being in a group? If you are going to listen to what I'm just saying, might as well I'm going to do it myself. I don't get it. I personally don't like it. I don't want that. Tell us all. Can't do that. So yeah, I've been kind of fed up. I'm not going to lie. And I also don't think that the mental health is a very good reason, I guess. I don't know. Your mental health is something that you really need to work out of. Yes, of course. But this is an assignment that have a deadline. This is an assignment that would affect your group members. I don't really care that you have mental health or not, to be honest. Look, I don't care, okay? I'm so sorry to be very heartless at this point, but I'll be very honest with you. When you are in the work, when you are going into the workforce, no one cares. No one cares if you're struggling mentally or physically. If you can work, you work. If you can't, you go out. That's all. That's how workplace is, okay? I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like that reason. If I'm just saying though, if you are very struggling with that, particularly, there's a thing called deferment. You can just defer a bit, took a gap semester, really go through whatever that you need to be able to be the best for the next semester. Not where we are in the middle of the semester and stress about all the assignment, and exam is coming in, everyone is stressing out at this point, and you telling me that you were not responsive for the 2 weeks where we could have just done with our assignment by that point. Now you decided that it's not I'm not good, I'm not feeling well, I'm struggling with it, and I'm terribly sorry about that. And what's the point of it? Like, you miss out every single meetings, you missed out every single discussions that we have, and suddenly you came here saying that, oh, I'm so sorry. You could have, by the first week when you were struggling, you could have submitted for the deferment. That's all I'm saying. You have to wait for 2 weeks, because 2 weeks can be a lot. I don't know. Have you thought about have you thought about that? Just saying. I personally don't really think that's a very good reason for you to ignore your responsibility. Like, what gave you the idea that it was alright? So we can give the task out faster for me and my health. I know, right? Someone just take it differently, because it works for you doesn't mean that it works for them. It works for someone like it works for someone who have the mindset that I just want to get over it. I just want to get over with it, and someone who's like, I stress out, but I really want to do very good with this assignment. I really want to give the best. Now that will increase your stress level, and that worsen your mental health. That absolutely going to worsen that. So if you think about that, isn't it the best way for you is to stop? Let's just stop at here. I don't think that I can continue with it. I don't think that I'm being a very good group members at this point. You know, you could have done that. Or you could have just let us know what happened. Then we could have asked for something. We, could have the idea, hi, welcome. Thank you for stopping by today. I hope you have a wonderful time. So yes, oh, sorry. Recently, I feel like, I've been lagging quite a bit. I kind of know what happened. I decided that I'm gonna ignore the fact. I'm gonna ignore the reason why. I don't know. I don't like that part at all. I don't like when you use mental health as an excuse because you struggling with mental health and your decision is to make it ignore every single message and then what happened? You affect my mental health because I need to bear your irresponsibility. Does that make sense? And who the hell? I'm just asking. Wow. Who am I going to complain about? Because there's no one there. Because I am much more responsible than you to not, ignore everything. Just a thought. Yeah. See, I don't mind like you are struggling mentally. And you decided to take a break. If it's something that does not have time constraint, if that makes sense. Hope you're okay. You look very stressed. I'm not stressed. What do you mean by stress? There's nothing stress for me. I'm surviving at this point. When there's no time constraint, I don't mind it, to be fair. I don't care. If it's someone like if this happened in a VTuber group, I don't really care because we don't really have time constraint on anything. We don't have any ongoing project. Okay? If that's what happened. Now, I don't get it. I sometimes here's the point. Sometimes in this sphere, there are situations where we are kind of working on a project and then suddenly someone decided to quit. I don't know if you were there, but then, someone decided to quit and, call it off, not doing anything at all, decided to leave the moment they announced it. And then for the rest who didn't, I can't tell your emotion. I just assume when someone talks loud. Be alright. It's okay. It's alright. It's normal for me to talk loud. So don't take too much into that. Don't think too much into that. I'm just complaining at this point. Don't worry about that. I'm actually feeling quite well, actually. I just like to complain a lot. And I just like to vent a lot. If you haven't noticed that. Like, I will talk about a lot of stuff, then I'll work with it. It's fine. That's how I do my things. And you have to listen to that if you came here, so zanen. The problem is a lot of people don't want to be there, then what's the point of you being here? The complaint is to let it out, the best way to feel better. Streaming up her one. Exactly, that's the point that I'm here. Absolutely the reason why. I'm just joking, I'm not. I don't know. I don't understand that one. I don't understand how human works right now. I thought, I thought at least in a academic or in a workplace setting, it's you have to be professional. Just a thought? No? Oh, wow. If I can, I actually prefer to do individual assignment if that's the case, actually. It's not that I did not work with someone that's very productive, efficient at the semester. I met some of them. I really enjoy working with them. They are having they put a lot of thoughts into that, though you need to, in a way, guide them, if that makes sense. Someone needs to do that at some in a group setting. Sometimes they are not sure if what the point they are talking is the right one or it's relatable. At some point you have to like guide them. Is that a good thing? It's not a good right word. You have to start saying very random stuff for them to understand that it's alright. It's just a discussion. We don't need to have the concrete, accurate what was that answer for that particular part. It's alright. That's the point of you having a discussion, is to discuss whether your point is relatable to the question, the assignment that we are going to do. And for some of them, even when we have discussions, even when you are, no matter how hard that you're going to, asking them to talk about their thought, have the idea of sharing their opinions, they just don't. Simply don't. They be like, I don't have anything to say. Now, here's the thing. You're not doing a business subject. You don't need to look through statistics of it. You don't need to do research of that. You are not looking at a research project. Or you are not looking at a project that requires very accurate research type data for you to prove that, yes, that's exactly what's the point that I have. The subject itself doesn't really have a right answer. Now, here's the thing that I have in mind when I doing my assignment. Actually, no, I'm actually doing an assignment. Like when I'm doing this kind of subject where there's no the right answer, if that makes sense. You know, it's not there's nothing scientific based on it. Oh, there is, but not much. Let me rephrase that. That's a few. So in this kind of subjects, this kind of topic, there's no. I don't get why you were afraid of saying. Because I think a lot of people right now like to talk about stuff. No? You like to express your idea. No? You express the idea of, yes, this is my thoughts. Probably not. Unless you don't. Unless you have no opinion at all, which in that case, I'll be very concerned. If you don't have any opinion at all, then what's the point of you here? The whole point of university, in my personal opinion, is to challenge the theory, if that makes sense. It's not straight on challenge every single theory out there. It is to find a different ways to it is not find a different way. It's like experiment. You are experimenting something. You are trying to come up with something new. That's the whole point of university itself. Given that your interest, your program that you chosen is something that's way creative, then very math science based. Because don't tell me that you are going to be creative in studying nutrition. I don't think you can be that creative at all. How can you be creative in that, actually, if you think about that? Because everything that you need to do has to base on research, isn't it? At that time, it's very science-based program. No? You cannot tell me that. Vegetable is not that healthy. Then you have to prove it, isn't it? Whereas if you are studying something that's more human, art, business way program, there's more creativity you can do, I think. So it depends, alright? It depends. Please don't tell me that. Please don't go into the university and say that you want to challenge everything. You think that that's not right. Unless the inspirations from, don't let them know from here. Thank you. So yeah, I know. I just like to think a lot. Does that count overthinking? It can be, or cannot be, or depends. We'll see about that. I have not questions. I have a lot of things that I want to Is there... Okay. Then I'm kind of done with this part. At least for this particular one. I want to move on. I have... Reflection. Still hate to do that. You know, do you know what part of reflections that I kind of hate? They have a word limit. As a word limit on reflections, you have to write a report on that. But they limit out the have a limit on that report. Personally, I don't like that. That's why I don't get the point of it. If you have to limit out the reflection part, then what am I going to do, right? Right, I think it's a good time for me to end my stream today. I'm actually quite tired. I'm not going to lie. Not tired. I was not able to sleep well for the past few days. By the way, I'm telling you. I've been in my reading. Okay, for those who didn't know, when I'm stressed, there's two things I want to do: sleep or I read something else. I could not sleep for some reason, so I decided to read. Recently, I've been reading back some of my favorite novel, and I've been missing listening to I don't know if you know this kind of thing. I think that's a word for it. It's not fanfic. I wish I had. when I said that I was rewatching Official Heaven Blessing, that particular animation. The anime, long story short, I decided to visit back their novel because I wanted to find out what they actually changed in the animation. Usually they switch it up quite a bit in there. Surprisingly, it was not that much different. I say not that much. It's as best as it can be, alright? So then after I finished that novel, because I kind of skimmed through it, I personally because that particular novel is there's a few character that I like ended up dying end up not doing the best. Hold on a minute, just give me a minute. Oh, is that Mr. Beast thing again? Weird though, you came into a server that is quite dead. Just saying. Thought about that. And then I was skimming through the list that I have that I read because I was at there, and I revisit I revisit my the reading list that I have for that year quite a bit actually. Anyway, I may not spend a few days reading something up. And I kind of missed the radio drama of it. I don't know if you know that. I think there's I think you can. It's like wait, were you reading? Ask. It's the same genre as you know. The same same genre that I was. What was that? The Official Heaven Blessing. So it's the same genre. There's a thing called. I'm quite sure there's a. So oh yeah, it's called an audio drama. Radio drama. I know. Something like that. I like that. I read that. Okay, I don't know. Okay, personally, this one is a CN novel where they don't even have animation. I don't think they have animations at all. I don't think they have a comic at all. But they probably have. I don't know. Okay, I just read the novel itself because the original version was the novel. I read through it, then I like it. I really personally really like that a lot. And I remember that I listened to this drama before. I don't have water with me today. I'm so sorry. Well, I may not be listening to that while I'm doing my assignment. It was a blessing at that point. I personally really like to do this. I don't know about you. Sometimes I like to listen to music when I'm working, but sometimes I like to listen to podcasts and audio drama. And I've been visiting that particular audio because I really think that audio drama was actually very well done. I think audio drama was quite popular in CN novel adaptation. It was before. It was a phase before it was being animated. If that makes sense, it was low budget. You just have to get You just have to have voice actor, and then sounds effect, and that's it. I personally really like that a lot. And also it's something that you can listen to when you're working. Because here's the thing. Because I already know the story plot of that particular novel, when I listen to this, I don't really need to think much. If that makes sense. I just listen to that. So yeah, it's been yeah, I'm stressed. That's how I deal with my stress. I find it very well. I find it very good because I don't really need to spend a lot of time reading through novel to get my stress out. I just need to listen while I'm working with my stress. It's a very good time efficiency method if you think about that. So yeah, what's one thing? Yeah. Was quite fun though. I don't know if you know this kind of stuff. It's kind of fun. And second of all, because it was not really because the audio drama is not in English. I can focus more. If that makes sense. I don't know if it's something that is probably not something that just something that I do. Because I know that there's some others human out there do this. When you are working with something, when you are trying to focusing on something, it's also they always listen to something different, a different language in their when they try to focus. I heard about this from someone, but what difference was they were listening to music. They were listening to music in a different language while they are writing up their report in English. So they are not listening to English music in their ears. They are listening to something else. And I personally find that quite distracting actually. I don't know, it's just me, but I find it quite distracting. I don't. I can't focus. I tried it. I cannot focus on that. But for some reason, I can focus more in listening to a dialogue, listening to a drama more. I'm still really liking the still really like to watch 天王赐福. And then when I watch it, cause that's how algorithm work, isn't it? So my recommendations on there has changed to a lot of C and animation works. And I saw this one particular animations that I really am interested to watch. I read their comic. I read their manga before. And I was very surprised when they decided to do an animation. I think it was released last year. I know, probably longer than it is the case. It's been a while. But that manga, I read through it years ago. I don't think that I finished that. I don't think by the time that I stopped reading that particular manga, it was still ongoing, but it did not really update that frequent, I think. I don't know if it's still ongoing or if it's like end by the time. But it was fun. That particular manga it was very enjoyable. I actually, do I learn a lot? No, of course not. But I like the plot a lot. I think the plot is quite fun. Instead of listening to a language, I listen to politics and studying a book when I work. I listen to podcasts. I listen to Shameless. I'm listening to Love and Deep Space when I work. Deal with that. Hey. Oh, by the way, that particular game decided to came up with another character. I don't know, a lot of people are hating that. I saw that. I agree with that. I agree with some of their point. I personally... They introduced a whole new character without announcing anything. Players have a lot of issues with that. Actually, I personally don't like the new introductions of a new character. It's an otome game. That's the point. It's an otome game. I think you... Have you thought about the Have you thought about the feelings of the player when you decided to do that? Yeah. That particular game. I think they wanted to came out with a new character on July. They put up a they put up quite a bit. I don't think personally I don't really enjoy the decision they made. I don't know. It's... I prefer... See, I can see the point of having a whole new character. You are expanding the game. There's a lot of ways to expand the game, to be fair. Like updating, like doing on your, having more storyline on your main quest. Just saying, the main story has not been updated for quite a bit. But, you decided to introduce a whole new character with a whole new background. That might possible. You better have a good explanation on that, because I have so many questions on that character at all. Second of all, it's an ultimate game. When the game came out, you specifically say that's 5 main characters to choose. Okay? Players choose from that 5, and suddenly you say that there's a 6 members. The amount that the amount of hate on that particular on what you get is, I mean, kind of deserve that actually. I can't deny that, because even someone who's not that, it's just a casual gamer that got offended. I don't know, you something wrong with that. Your decision purely standing on the business part of it instead of the audience part of it. And I don't think that's the right way as a game developer. Just a thought. Yeah, anyway. A lot of people are having tons of thoughts. A lot of people are having have tons of bad opinion on it, a bad thought on that. Very negative. I think none of it is actually that positive. For someone, I don't know, like how bad can you have you? My questions for that particular company is: have you thought about what the player actually want? I'm quite sure that you earn a lot as a company who earn through gacha games. You cannot tell me that you did not profit from Nikki. Nikki is a gacha game, like it or not. I don't know. You could have, just saying, you could have developed a whole new ultimate game. But no, you decided to add that character into the existing game where you specifically say there's 5 members and suddenly there's a whole new other one. In what mind that you think that it's going to be acceptable? Because here's the thing, a lot of players was not that satisfied with the with some of the banner. Actually, I think I was not that. I think let me think how to rephrase that. Is that one thing that I was happy on it? Actually, not really. I have and I was quite unhappy with one of the banner they have, because the lack of effort in animation, I think. Also, the game itself is lack of a lot of animations to begin with. I don't know Anyway, it's not my fault. Okay, I'm not just a casual gamer of that particular game. It's alright. It's okay. Disappointed, but that's how business work. Anyway, I think it's a good time for me to end my stream at here. I'll talk about it more tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. I think. Yes. Not sure what I'm going to stream tomorrow as well. But I'm probably going to stream tomorrow. Hi. Thank you for coming. Thank you for stopping by today. I hope you have a wonderful time and I hope you have a wonderful day. As always, please take care of yourself. Oh, I need to update you guys something. But anyway, tomorrow then. Please take care of yourself and I see you when you decided to drop by my stream again, alright? Thank you. Bye-bye.